You can throw boom at the same time. As he punches, boom, you go down.
Absolutely.
It's all about moving after you punch. As soon as you punch, you're gone. I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog. There's no doubt about it. He showed that.
Hey, now, if you know what you're looking at, the guy must be around 150 right now, 153, something like that. And you can really tell when he's sideways.
Mike Tyson has finally spoken out after training with Gervonta Davis, ahead of his huge fight with Jake Paul, and the boxing world can't stop talking. Tyson, who has been mentoring and watching Davis up close, couldn't hide his excitement about Tank's new form. Davis looks more dangerous than ever, returning to the ring with a stronger, more muscular body that shocked fans and experts. With bigger arms, a solid upper body, and the same explosive speed, Tank's transformation shows he's dead serious about this fight.
You can't really tell, but when he turns sideways, the guy is a wrecking ball. He's literally a baby rhino out there. And I think that is the idea for him to bulk up and be a little powerhouse out there. And I'm all for it. I'm going to tell you in this video why I think that's the best thing for Tank and why I think he will be knocking on 160 pounds. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to be showing you guys another workout of mine. Let me be absolutely clear with this, all right? I'm not trying to say that I'm a great fighter. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than you. We all know, Lord knows, that all you guys in the comments are Olympic gold medalists. You guys are fantastic fighters, and I can't come close to the level of great technique and great fighting that you are. I'm just working out, all right? And I was definitely trying to hit the bag as hard as I can. I was really working on my hooks more than anything. Now listen, I know that I'm trash, all right? So, you know, just look at it and be like, okay, showbiz trash or whatever. Or if you want to be inspired and you're on a journey like I am, I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to not look like I'm 45 out here, all right, other than the gray and the beard, all right? If you get inspired, please let me know in the comments. Other than that, all you Olympic gold medalists out there, I'm nowhere on your level, all right? But if you want to see it, it's going to be at the end of this video. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis. Listen, the reason why I think he will be knocking on 160 pounds is because I think that's his walking around weight. And I have receipts for all this shit. You guys remember, what, 4 or 5 years ago where he missed weight against Gamboa?
Mike Tyson recently said he's leaning toward Gervonta Davis in the upcoming fight with Jake Paul. And it's all about punching power. After training with Tank, Tyson said he was amazed by his timing, strength, and knockout ability from any angle. Tank's punches are different. They've got that old school snap, Tyson said. He admitted Jake has improved, but Davis's instincts and ring IQ give him the edge. Tyson believes if Tank stays sharp and focused, his power will decide the fight. During a chat with Stephen A. Smith, both agree that Davis needs a knockout to win, because with Jake's fan base and hype, judges could be risky. Tyson even compared Tank to a younger version of himself, a modern Iron Mike ready for destruction.
Be the pick against Davis. What are your thoughts about this upcoming fight?
See, I kind of lean towards Davis a little because of his style of fighting and what makes him different than most fighters that I once did is when he punches, he catapults himself in the air. And normally in the air, you're out of position, you have no leverage. But for some reason, myself and Mr. Davis, our best point is when we're leaping in the air, like being catapulted to punch up, because he's not much of a guy that punches down, as we saw with Pitbull Cruz. So what's his name? Pitbull Cruz gave him his hardest fight, but
Right.
he was a very aggressive guy, not like Ryan is.
Yeah, you talk about Isaac Cruz. Definitely, he gave it an aggressive fight.
Yes.
But I thought that particular fight, Gervonta showed me boxing skills that I didn't even realize he had because, Pitbull comes at you and he's very good defensively, so he covers himself well. But I thought Gervonta did a great job boxing in that particular fight. Here's what I think. I think this is the kind of fight Gervonta Davis is going to have to get the knockout because Ryan Garcia is taller. Obviously, he's fighting at a catch weight with that dehydration clause and all of this stuff, but he's longer, he's taller, he's got a jab, he uses it to avoid that power that Gervonta Davis is going to give him. He wins the fight. I think the only way for Gervonta to beat him is to knock him out. To that, you say what?
I believe he could beat him if it goes the distance as well.
You think Gervonta can beat him if he goes the distance?
He's going to win the fight, yes.
So you got him winning this fight?
Yes, I do.
Mikiza Bidarian, Jake Paul's business partner and co-promoter, recently said that while Jake has the advantage in size and strength, he can't match Gervonta Davis's experience. He admitted Tank has spent his life perfecting timing, distance, and power against top-level fighters, something Jake is still learning. Bidarian said, Jake's bigger and stronger, but Tank's instincts and fight IQ are different. He added that Jake's hard work deserves respect, but experience can't be learned overnight.
Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they are the two biggest boxers in America, and they are putting it all on the line. One has the speed, the skill, the accuracy, and the one-punch knockout power. The other has the size, the force, and the unbreakable confidence to make this must-see Netflix. The size difference is obvious, but so is the skill and experience difference. One man has been doing this for 23 years, since the age of 7. The other picked up the sport 5 years ago and has virtually no amateur experience. So the size difference is what makes this plausible. The king of the jungle here is Tank Davis. He is the lion taking on the young elephant that is Jake Paul. The lion is looking at me like he's about to eat me. The lion is fast, he's fierce, and he's fatal when he strikes. But the young elephant is big, powerful, and hard to knock down. And come Friday, November 14th, the jungle will be set in tropical Miami, Florida, and the world will be watching live on Netflix globally to see who the victor will be. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a victor because the fighters have agreed and the commission has approved a maximum weight of 195 pounds for this exhibition. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds. The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds, and when Tank and Jake enter the squared circle to go to battle, they will be wearing 12-ounce gloves.
Bidarian also responded to talk about Jake Paul's size advantage over Gervonta Davis. He said size won't matter much against a fighter like Davis, and the heavier weight limit was only needed because Jake is less experienced. He revealed the Paul versus Davis fight was planned for a long time, originally coming together after a canceled Canelo-Alvarez bout. According to him, Tank had been calling for this fight for years, and when the Canelo deal fell apart, the path to Jake Paul opened up.
Jake and Tank are going to happen November 14th.
Whatever weight they want, man, they're talking about it, and whatever it is, there's going to be a definitive outcome. People can talk about pro, exhibition. We're going to make sure this is as real as it's real.
Why was it, just out of curiosity, why is it not a professional bout and why is it an exhibition? Because I'm sure Jake would have taken the professional bout.
Nothing's been communicated as yet in terms of what it is, right? Similar to, if you remember, with Paul Tyson, when we announced it, we didn't have the weight, we didn't have the rules, particularly in terms of the number of rounds, the minutes, the gloves. It's going to be the same thing here.
Gotcha. Can you just offer us any insight as to how these negotiations went? The reason I ask is because I remember back in March, I was at Tank's fight, and after his fight in his press conference, he was asked, next opponent. He said, well, my next opponent might have been in my locker room tonight. And people asked him, was it Jake? He made reference, he made allusion to. Has this been an ongoing thing? And has it ever, been at a point where it wasn't gonna happen and came back, or was this always the plan?
Always been the plan for Jake to fight Tank once Canelo didn't happen. And to Tank's credit, he's a real bad dude, and he's been calling out Jake for 3 years. And people, it's funny how now they're saying size matters, Jake is big, when for so long it's been Tank would kill Jake Paul. And now you get to see if that's real.
Former world champion Carl Froch warned that despite Davis's skill, Jake Paul's size and power are real threats. He said Tank isn't used to being hit by someone that big and strong. Frock's comments reflect the concern many in boxing have, that this matchup feels more like a dangerous sideshow than a fair fight, raising questions about safety than legitimacy.
Just here at Los Naranjos in Viva, España, and I found out that Gervonta Davis is now fighting Jake Paul. So Jake Paul was supposed to be fighting AJ. Eddie Hearn announced 99% done, which we've just spoke about. What next for AJ? Potentially Jake Paul. But it now looks like that Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been played? Let me know what you think. But the AJ fight with Jake Paul's finished. Gervonta Davis, fake Paul, November. I don't know what's going on in the world of boxing. This is an absolute joke. What next for AJ? We'll get into this, and there's so many questions I want to get into in the next episode, but I hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, I just thought I'd give you a quick update because the news has just come in and I'm just trying to relax and play a bit of golf, and I can't. I've got to get it off my chest. I'm going to add it to this video. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit like, share and subscribe to the best channel in the business, Frotch on Fighting, and we'll see you very soon.
Ryan Garcia harshly criticized the fight, calling it crazy and questioning its seriousness. He said modern boxing is starting to look like professional wrestling, comparing it to WWE instead of a real competition. Garcia believes these kinds of matchups hurt boxing's image and make fans lose respect for the sport. Boxing is officially the WWE, he said, warning that entertainment is replacing real competition.
Today we're going to talk about the boxing world and another fight that Jake Paul just booked for his joke of a career against a 65-plus smaller guy than him in Gervonta Davis. Jake Paul is a circus sideshow for low IQ incels. Nobody should be falling for this carny bullshit about him being a real fighter. Gervonta is a million times better than him, so he has to handicap Gervonta's skill by being a giant lab rat with a 65-plus weight advantage over him. This is a joke. This is a mockery to the sport of fighting. You know, the best are supposed to fight the best. Why is he fighting a guy that's, in his last fight, Mike Tyson, who, he's got a 40-year age gap between them? Why are you fighting a guy that should be in line for, the early bird special, not fighting in a boxing ring, and Mike Tyson? Now you're fighting a guy who is, tiny. He's a 130-pound fighter. You fight in the 210, 220 weight range. So, this is another joke in Jake Paul's career. He claims to want to be a real fighter, but he's not taking the real steps to be real fighters and fighting top 10 guys and fighting the best guys in the world. He fights these circus sideshows against guys that have no business being in there against him. So I guess this is the state of boxing. It's dead. UFC took over, and this is what you get now. You get this YouTuber who is on Lizzie McGuire, and he wants to claim to be a real fighter, but he doesn't want to fight real fighters. So, I think it's ironic, though. Why would he hire a lawyer to sue people that say that his fights are fixed if they weren't? Allegedly. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. You guys do the math. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Promoter Eddie Hearn also warned Jake Paul about the danger of fighting Gervonta Davis. He said Paul could face serious consequences, even physical harm. Be careful what you wish for, Hearn cautioned. He called the fight a mismatch, even though it's great for business. While he rates the fight's chances as even, he believes Jake risks more than just his record. His health could be on the line.
We know that Gervonta is going to fight Jake Paul in November, and then we'll see what happens if there's an AJ fight. Be interested to go from Gervonta Davis to Anthony Joshua, but I don't think the Chavez fight is terrible. I think it's a smart bit of business.
Many fans online accuse Gervonta Davis of avoiding top fighters like Shocker Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez to chase money with Jake Paul. They say it's more about payday than pride, but others argue that's unfair. Davis has already proven himself by staying undefeated, winning multiple titles, and beating elite opponents. They say calling him a ducker ignores years of dominance and hard work. Even if this fight brings money, it doesn't erase his legacy.
Fighters, because this thing is going to be watched by hundreds of millions globally. Jake, give the people one thing that you can guarantee that they're going to get on November 14th when they tune in to Netflix.
Yeah, you're going to see the two biggest fighters in America go head-to-head with an amazing card. World championship fights back-to-back-to-back. And that's just how the MVP way we do it. And I'm going to come for a knockout of the year again. I've seen it in my visions. I've seen it in my manifestation. I'm sleeping this guy and going to create the most viral knockout ever.
Some critics say this fight is just a money grab that puts profit over competition. The size difference and media hype make it look more like a show than a sport. They fear it cheapens boxing and risks fighters' safety. Many claim boxing has lost its roots, replaced by celebrity matchups and entertainment-driven events. Instead of honoring real champions, they say the sport now focuses on drama and fame.
We wasn't gonna ever fight no Shakur Stevenson, no Keyshawn Davis, no Teofimo Lopez, no none of them dudes. You know what I'm talking about? We gotta think and look at Tank Davis's whole career. He done made some bread, but at the end of the day, all that bread that he made, when it's all said and done, he ain't gonna get no respect from his peers, because we gonna look down his resume and we gonna be like, he was trash, he was some trash, he was some trash, he was all right, but he was never like that. He was okay. He was some trash, he was some trash, he ain't did nothing. Hey, that's just what it's gonna be at the end of the day. Get mad, a moment of silence for all of the Gervonta Tank Davis meat bushes that's biting blood out their bottom lip right now. Hold on, let's have a moment of silence. Everybody, bite blood out your bottom lip. Hey, I know you're mad, but you can't do nothing. Y'all can't do nothing about it.
Still, critics forget what Gervonta Davis has already achieved. He's undefeated, a multi-time world champion, and one of boxing's biggest knockout artists. Taking a big money fight doesn't erase that success. In today's boxing world, where media, business, and star power matter as much as skill, there's more than one way to be great. Davis has already proved himself, and this fight only adds another chapter to his story.
Like the internet, when we give it to you straight, no chase. In sports, Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul have a fight coming up. I ain't even gonna call it a fight, because it ain't. If Jake Paul's involved in it, it's a great acting job. You know Mike Tyson could have just knocked Jake Paul's face into the canvas, but he got paid to pull punches, otherwise he wouldn't have got paid. I'm pretty sure the same is going for Gervonta Davis. It's a quick money grab. Man, most of y'all gonna be suckers who tune in. It's just quick money grab. That's all I'm saying. Ain't gonna be no fight. I don't give a fuck how big Jake Paul is. He can't take one of them little mother tank punches. Tank move furniture. Move furniture. Catch that motherfucking move furniture. And Jake don't like his furniture moved, so he gonna pay him not to hit him again. If you really want to show out Gervonta, sign a contract that you ain't gonna hit him, because if you hit him, you lose all the money. And then whoop that motherfucker's ass, put him to sleep, and get him out the boxing game once and for all.
Jake Paul, however, isn't backing down. He's promised to deliver the knockout of the year against Gervonta Davis. Jake says this isn't just another fight. It's his chance to silence critics and make history. He wants a knockout that shocks the world and proves he belongs in boxing. His bold words show he's betting on both power and showmanship, turning the fight into something bigger than just winning.
The casual, but what about the hardcore boxing fans? Won't we stand up and put some value on fighters that dare to be great, that respect the sport of boxing and not just the business of boxing? Ryan Garcia never been a champion. Shout out to Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia never been a champion. Making more money than these guys, Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez, right? Ryan Garcia, the less accomplished fighter, was just main eventing in their last fight. Devin Haney was the co-main event, and Teofimo Lopez was playing third fiddle. Where was the hardcore boxing fans' dollars? Where was the hardcore boxing fans' appreciation?